Graduates, big up your nice clean self. I see you all. I see you all. First of all, I wanted to enter class and I wanted to like up the live. Please and thank you, my graduates. I share the live. You know, I don't always ask you to share this live, but today I'm going to ask you to share the live, right? Well, I never turn down this. Let me big up my fellow graduates in the class. As you guys enter, mark yourself present on the register. Okay. Good evening, Gloria. Good afternoon, Linda, wherever you are. Guys, so nice. So big up yourself. Good evening. Tantanium 25. Oh, I don't think I've seen your name before. That sounds nice. Tantanium 25. Good afternoon. Is there any lunch in here? No, no lunch not there. Mel Isaacs, blessings. Social spectator, hi. Winsome Shirley, big up yourself. Angela Wardlow, blessings. June Sundat, good afternoon. Norma, my sister, in big up yourself. Let me pin your message. Sandy Soundy, good afternoon, my darling. Yes. And yes, indeed, please do not press skip on those ads. Please watch the ads to keep the channel earning and enjoy quality content. You know now. Big up yourself. And boo, Janice Hamilton. Let me show my face a little bit. Little bit. Hi. Hey, Carrie. What's up? Hi, Janice. Big up yourself. Bayesian girl. What's going on? Yeah? What's always social media active? Hmm? I have a few things to say because there are a few things that are taking place. Um, and I think that there's a very good question being asked, if you notice on my screen. Was it facts or is this about revenge? Really and truly, I wonder about us as a people. I deliberately shared the post from Dwayne Fletcher's page on mine. I really wanted to observe the responses. I wanted to get a feedback from my followers exactly what kind of frame of mind you were in when you read that. Um, okay, you don't comment often. Okay, I see. I see. Valerie, good afternoon. Yes. You look so good. Oh, thank you, Bayesian girl. Thank you. Um, I wanted to see what your responses were going to be, and it's more or less what I predicted, right? No, this is what I'm gonna say. Um, and I'm gonna say that I'm not trying to stir the pot or cause any problem. I think that it is important that somebody at least try to keep level on certain things. Dwayne has apologized. And it seems to me that there are people who are not willing to accept the apology. And frankly, I see nothing wrong with that. Okay? I see nothing wrong with that. I think it's really important that we recognize that forgiveness is at individual pace, that you cannot force people to forgive and to forget is very important because when you force a process, it's not real, it's not genuine. So that's the first thing I wanted to say in order to not stir the pot. That I don't understand why it is that it has to be done on the basis of a said so. Now, remember, as I said to you, I have nothing against Dwayne Fletcher. I have nothing against him apologizing, asking for forgiveness. I think all of those things are wonderful. They're all fantastic things. And in everybody's life, you have to reflect on your behavior and assess as to whether or not your behavior was appropriate. You understand? We all make mistakes out here on social media. I don't think there's anybody who can say that they have a clean slate. Hmm? We all have a hand to play in certain things. But the thing is, at what point are we going to recognize that certain behaviors are not only cyclical, meaning you're going around in a circle, but they are non-progressive and they benefit absolutely no one. Now, the fact that the man has actually taken it on himself to apologize and to put it in writing. Because I said, no, this have to share. Come in and see why this not global. Because the setting, the cogwheel and stuff that's on it suggests that it's for a specific audience. And I'm just like, hell to the no. No. If you're coming out and you're apologizing, do it with your full chest. Say what you got to say. Right? So I reposted it. Um, Now, while it is that is fantastic, it is a significant move. It's not a forced thing for everybody who has been named in that apology to actually accept it. Apologies are not necessarily something that has to be accepted. It's usually accepted out of grace. Okay? And a lot of wrongs have been committed. And righting the wrongs for some may be a different criteria than it is for others. So while DMG may be fine with the verbal, the written, and she's made it clear that it is a forgiveness with remit, right? So there's certain things around it that that she's not willing to negotiate on. It's still a move in a positive direction, right? In terms of achieving peace. But it's peace with discernment. And this is what we have been saying that we want DMG to have for so long. Discernment, right? Now, a lot of people are going to come and say, well, you know, if she can forgive 360, and I'm going to call his name because his name is the comparative here. And if we were to be honest in terms of the whole theme of forgiveness that has been happening for the past how many days, it really has been a comparison between, well, no, it's a three-person comparison. It's a comparison between 360, Dwayne Fletcher, and Maxine. And I'm not calling your names for any wrong, but that's just a fact. Okay. And the comparative that is being drawn is, well, if it can be done with 360, it should be done for Dwayne Fletcher, it should be done for Maxine. Okay. And frankly, it really is not down to anybody but these key players to decide whether or not they're going to apologize, whether or not the person they're apologizing to is going to accept it. But it really is down to the person to accept it. And if they don't wish to accept it, we can't beat them feet. We can't. Because as I said, there's been a lot of wrongs committed out here. A lot of wrongs. Now, one significant point is that faith without works is dead. If you are going to make an apology that is verbal and even in writing, what actions are you going to follow that through with to show that you are genuinely sorry? I have heard people out here demanding that Dwayne Fletcher should go and remove all of his videos, take down all of that evidence. How many times, graduates, have you heard me speak about the fact that with the apology of 360, the lack of retraction has made it difficult for the majority of Planketarians to trust him? I've said it before. Maybe when I said it, I was not yet established blogger, so many people didn't hear. But go back into my lives. I've said it. Apologies without retraction almost seem half complete. Half. Because for as long as the evidence of the behaviors are still allowed to be out here on social media, it is always going to keep resurfacing and drive a spirit of doubt in the audience. Facts. Now, I heard a specific video from Jamaica Queen Bee. You see my colors? Jamaica Queen Bee, I know you like this. And I'm gonna address it because I actually applauded for a lot of that video. Some of it I didn't applaud for, and you're going to hear why. Some of it I applauded for because you know it's not all the time you're a troublemaker. Sometimes you say one and two things, so yeah, it connect. And I listened to that video and I listened to everything that you said. But, and there is a but here. You spoke specifically about the fact that, you know, Ashanti does not advertise for DMG. He does not, he's mostly all about war and stuff like that. And, I'm just going to speak from a non-biased perspective. That's not true. He advertises her all the time. Come on. He does. And even in the recent the gala, he was one of the people who was constantly putting it out there, encouraging people on his lives to buy tickets and all of that. It was there. And he has advertised her cakes. He may not necessarily post flyers necessarily, but he talks about it all the time. Tells people to go buy t-shirt, go buy this, go buy that, whatever it is that she is actually putting out there as a product. So I cannot say that I can agree with that point that you made. That's the first thing. You spoke about the fact that this person is not willing to forgive because it is about exploitation of the financial side of social media. It's about him earning. It's about him earning out of controversy, fights, arguments, and that you think that he isolates people who are close to the lady and he attacks them. I agree. Partially. Partially because I don't know the man's finances. So I don't know if it's just about money. But I do believe it's true that there are many people who have supported DMG and who have shown that they are there for her. And he has gone out of his way to attack. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't do things to necessarily provoke a response, but I don't think whatever it is that they did deserved all of that. And I'm speaking specifically about YMK. I said it in my first live back. I did not respect the response. Of course, I didn't like how YMK behaved at that gala thing. No. Right? I thought it was a temper tantrum about nothing important. And I said the same. But regardless, I do not believe that it can be questioned about whether or not YMK is for this lady's success. Whether or not YMK adores this lady, I don't think at this stage that we can still question that. Even if it was something in the back of our heads before, I genuinely believe that time has shown that he is still steadfast in his support. And if he has come out here and made a mistake, be it that his response was, I don't know, dramatic, because in dramatic, it did not deserve that attack that I witnessed. It wasn't necessary. In other words, you can scold without slander. You can scold without destroying. You can scold without tearing down a person's brand and basically denigrating their character. And this is something that I find that Ashanti is yet to learn, despite him being a seasoned blogger. And I say that with my full chest, and I care not about the reactions. I'm telling the truth. Ashanti was somebody that I used to respect a lot in terms of his blogging, the things he used to do when it came to missing people, people in need and stuff like that. And that was long before I used to follow DMG. And now when I see exactly what he is capable of, I am telling you that Planketarians try to placate him because they do not want a backlash on DMG. Tell me if I lie, me I tell. Hmm? Am I lying, graduates? We appreciate the apology, but there is a genuine fear that this man may make a 180 and start again. So people will placate him, which means try to calm him down, try to temper him. And I see the hypocrisy all the time. So I am not going to disagree with all of it because, as I said, I don't know about the finances or if it's just financially driven. But some of the attacks that I've seen have been way off center. Way off center. He came for me despite the fact that I was within my rights, and I still stand by that, to defend myself from a character onslaught on Observant TV's live for no reason at all, unprovoked. Unprovoked. And to make matters worse, the things that were done, and I'm going to share something with you, right? I'm going to share something with you. You see those pictures that those so-called, because he claimed that it was two Plancatarians who passed those pictures on, and I'd really like to know who you are because the sin that is on your shoulders. You see those two pictures that Ashanti did take and fling out there claiming that he thinks he's body shaming me? Those two pictures were taken from my dead relative's page. And that relative recently passed. Remember, I said I went to a funeral in Jamaica. Yes. And they invaded that space and took those pictures at a time when I was grieving the loss of a close family member. You would not know because I don't bring out my business like that. I mean, I ball on social media. You know, you're not going to see that. Not in this day and age. And that was the time that he chose to do that. And I said, look at sin that you have incurred. Because me know say you see that family member them love me like nothing. And that family member that don't pay the for you. Try no. Try no. Curses. But as I said, it didn't do anything to me really because you see my confidence, you can't quite knock it like that. It's not so easy. Especially when I know what I'm made out of. Whether or not you think something of me is not as important as what I think of myself. So, this, despite the fact that when Ashanti had his accident, I knew almost instantly, as in within the first 10 minutes of it taking place. And I never came out here and went, oh my God, turn it in a content, blow it up. I respected his privacy and he invaded mine. So when you claim that you are pro DMG, it doesn't mean that you are pro anybody else that is around her, anybody else that is in her corner. It just takes coming out here to kick off with persons to show that your commitment to peace is limited and specifically only for one person. And by not caring about anybody else who is in her corner, who is supporting her, it makes a lot of people question whether or not your intent is purely for money, if it's genuine, or if it's just about generating content, which is once again purely for money. There is a difference between being a righteous warrior and just being a warmonger. Right? There's a huge difference. And a lot of the respect that you could have had, or you should have, based on the background that you have in blogging, has gone downhill since a lot of the behaviors you've displayed. And it's so unfortunate because it could be done without all of that. Yeah. However, sticking to the point as to whether or not Jamaica Queen Bee had a point. Does his apology sustain where DMG is concerned? So far, so good. So far, so good. We've not heard him come out and attack the lady. But people around her are not safe. And especially if you're around her, you're not safe. You understand? And it's really a shame because those of us who are genuine with our support are being attacked by somebody who claims this is their co-worker. And it's like, what agenda are you really working on? Ashanti, you deleted a live. You deleted a live. I saw it. Somebody else saw it. Well, a few people saw it. And you deleted it. About people reaching out to you and calling you to fight their battles. I'm not going to call the person's name. You deleted it for a reason. And once again, I'm going to respect that privacy. But sometimes when people reach for you to fight their battles, they're setting you up. Yeah. Because it is an unnecessary interference and involvement. And by showing Trancatarians this side of you persistently, you are not getting the support that you should be getting by this stage. You're not. Because they're always going to not trust what they're saying. If it is that Dwayne Fletcher is fake and his apology does not matter and all of that, and it really shouldn't be accepted, I don't think that anybody is in any position to say that excepting the person that he apologized to, which is DMG. If it is that the rest of the people in the subsequent written thing don't want to accept it, including Ashanti, including the rest, Eric Khan, whoever else he wrote to a great team, you know, Ladana, one would for them. They don't have to accept anything. That is a fact. They don't. But it really isn't anybody's position to say that DMG should not accept or DMG should react a certain way or people are going to be angry that she has accepted. I think really and truly that is an individual thing. Now, I know that despite everything that Queen Bee was saying, this is where I have an issue with her video. Because likewise, when you and I were at it, well, at least it was you more at it to me than anything else, because me never did I look for you, and you start for me. You went and you spliced Ashanti's video and you took the section where he was actively body shaming me and you placed it on your video, on your page, and you laughed about it. And then you turn around on your video and said that we should not be doing these things. Now, you tell me if that isn't double standard, that isn't hypocritical, that isn't fake to the highest degree. Because you found that moment so satisfying when it was about revenge. And this is how we encourage slackness on social media. We encourage it when it suits our agendas. And therefore, when you come out with facts, because a lot of your video was facts, you know, It hard to take it 100% seriously. You understand? Okay, be careful with the name calling. I can see that my admin are taking out everything. Yeah, 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 cute pie. You know what you're talking about still, but not right no name, because I deliberately said that. Okay? I deliberately avoided saying the name. Yes? And when cute pie said, me not call no name, but me vex when my body share woman because I two belly me have. Big up my big belly. Give big up my broad back friend with the two belly. We support you. Yeah, that is it. Listen, I personally think that you see, if Dwayne make a backward move and go back to oil its team, I say when the internet done with him, you see, he might as well come off. You understand? Because me know say it a go be 10 million times hotter if you think it at now. Just wait till it get 10 million times hotter. You understand? So try your best. I honestly wish him well. I hope this is a positive move for change. And I really hope that he follows it up with action, that he starts to retract, that he takes down some of those videos. I think that should be a very positive move. It will really show that your heart is in the right place. You understand? But me notice sometimes it's gonna affect monetization, and people think it's so simple to just say he has a channel to just start deleting videos and stuff. It can affect how your channel operates. There's lots to it, right? But over time, you can do things over time. You understand? And also, when we see your future content, it will tell us where you're at. It will say where you're at, whether or not you are for a positive spin on things, or if you're gonna go right back to being the same old trending. You understand? So I think time will tell, and I think it's important for us, the ones who are not into the problems and not into the constant war, to just observe, because so when I run up in a people, when I run up in a people, right? It's not about that. We now go, oh my God, come into my house, come sit down, come have a cup of tea. It's nothing like that. It really is about giving that time for people to change. Yes. And the comparisons that are being made, people, I don't even think it's worth comparing, because each case is different. Yes, forgiveness earned, forgiveness due. It's all different cases. You understand? And I think in time, even those things will work itself out where Maxine is concerned. And 360 has apologized to DMG, may not have come out and put it on no platform or whatever, but she was fine with that. So who are we to say anything? Whether or not we agree with it, right? So I'm just saying that it's really about watching the space, looking for consistency. Because if people 1 minute them say them sorry and then them go right back to the foolishness, so you're not gonna be taken serious, and it has to be expected that Dwayne, you're going to get some beat note here for a while, because people are not gonna trust it. Yes, they're gonna say that you're gonna go back because you have done it many times, or you have said that you're not gonna do this, and then you go right back to it, right? So this one feels different. I think it's more structured. It's more kind of followed up already by actions, because you've started to delete people and do whatever. So, I think that it's showing that you're a bit more serious. So make we see how it go, right? Make we see how it go. The comments them, but I don't know what go on. I can be reading that local. Let me go up. That boy see I want to play place yourself. Hold on there. Right. Yeah, I mean, and guys, as I said, Carrie, me don't know that cutie pie. Cutie pie, I don't think I've seen it over here talking so much. You're very expressive. Yeah, understand. You make me a one another who there cutie pie. But say teacher Carrie whenever. when Iba cussed the other person the other night, man, did I did would laugh. If I know he was gonna delete the live, I would have recorded it. As somebody called him and tell him to delete the video. Listen, as I've always said, when you delete a live, there's at least 4 or 5 of us top bloggers that have recorded everything. Try no. Right. I have a question. So if the people over there come and say they're apologizing, is she going to say she forgive them? Ooh. Hmm. People over there, are you talking about the camp? Are you talking about the dog without the teeth? Listen, once again, who are we to say anything? The woman is her own big man. She must know what she's gonna do if she's gonna take the apology and move on. You understand? I think that she has such a big heart. I don't even know how her heart is so damn big, but she has such a big heart. I know I am nowhere near as forgiving as DMG. I am not. Okay, naturally wired that way, right? As Taurus women, this is a queen bee. That's why I put revenge there. So because me know say him offend you too, right? So I know a lot of your thing may be coming from a lack of forgiveness, right? And the same thing with 13. You trouble at Taurus, it's gonna take years. It's gonna take years to work its way out. Years, long time. And that's what the thing says. You understand? So to me, it's like battles, some battles you pick wisely. You pick wisely, right? But I don't know. I I don't know. I'd like to think not. I'd like to think not, people, about that. Right? Yeah, me know what you mean. RMGP, but I'd like to think no. Yes, that's my answer there, but I am not the lady. So me no know. Did Maxine apologize to DMG recently because I constantly hear references to her that if DMG accepted from 360, she can from Maxine. As far as I remember, that was done already. I think there was some apology business, but I don't know. I mean, as I said, I genuinely think that where Maxine is concerned, I don't have no issues with Maxine. I think that it would be nice that this is my personal opinion and not the opinion of my graduates, but I personally think it would be nice if that hatchet was buried and those two ladies were cordial enough. It don't have to be, once again, no bedfellows business, but it can squash. I think it can squash. And I think that I think I genuinely, I'm sorry, I like Maxine, so when I forgot beat me for this, but I like her. I do. I don't have no problem with Maxine. I just think that, sometimes people get caught up in their feelings, and certain things that happened where she was concerned, she hasn't gone past it. And, you know, it's having an effect on the way she's doing her content and the way she behaves on social media. That is what I see. What you know, Lord Jesus, she better not, because if she do, I've officially done with the backside. People, we Taurus people in a ramp. That is true, Valerie. We don't forget. So we don't forget, and it's very difficult for us to forgive. Forgiveness comes rarely, rarely. Once you have crossed a certain line, particularly when you start on our family, oh my God, you might as well just go and jump over a cliff or something, because the forgiveness for you is probably never gonna happen. Never ever gonna happen. Yes. Um, So it's just how the thing set, right? And the thing with what I would tell you about Taurus people is that we don't interfere with people, Mm-mm. They have to mess with we first, and then you get a different person. Because otherwise, we're very chill, very calm, very nice. We like jokes, we like to laugh. But you see, when you start and you are the one who do it, a problem, because we don't interfere with you. So once you interfere with us, you have given us license to do whatever, whenever. You understand? And very fearless with it. Very fearless. God for Lord, don't call her that, Kerry. Mega delete that comment there. Don't call her that. No. I'm saying that at the end of the day, right? These two ladies, they will sort their things out, right? Because remember, said the lady said she do have no problem with Maxine. She do have no problem with her. So You never know what can happen in the future. And I think it's full time that we stop trying to predict certain things. I think sometimes things need to work itself out, however they work itself out. And adding fuel to the flame is not gonna make things any better. So sometimes when Maxine come out and say and do certain things, I'm just like, this isn't gonna help. Right? But it is what it is. I can't tell people how to run their platform. You understand me? I can't tell people how to run their platform. But what I can say is I can see clearly how the behaviors of particular bloggers around the lady can bring to question whether or not their intentions is about indeed lifting her up and celebrating her, or is it about creating an upstir and wars around her and sustaining those for financial gain. I can see it. So whether or not it is so, that is down to that person, but that's how it look. Blatantly, that's how it look. It's like, let me go and attack this person or attack that person. Yes. And these are people who are in her penny section, who are in her corner, who are supposed to be a part of her team. And you're attacking them. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, what, as I said, you can scold without the vicious attacks that I have witnessed. Why not? Because if the person step out of line, the only one point that I took away from the whole thing between me and observant, is you really and truly should have got after the person who posts. But I look at it that if it's my platform, I'm responsible for what takes place there. So, like, I'm going through my comments now and I'm seeing some of these things. I'm like, but hang on a minute. I don't I don't like that name being called of somebody, I'ma delete it. You understand? And that's me taking control. But at the moment, at the time when that was going on, Observant was losing her losing her calmness was gone. Let me put it in that way, with a touch of class, right? So she wasn't paying attention. So she didn't see. You understand? And that would have been a point that I would have taken away. I would have reflected, I would have repaired that. But when you come out and then you start to talk about my body, you start to talk about my family, you start to put up pictures of me thinking that you're doing something good, you have in fact set up enmity for life. You understand? And unnecessarily so. Unnecessarily so, because did we not sort it out? Did it not do this and calm? We're not unreasonable people out here where we can't reflect and see what we're doing wrong. We don't need an evil school teacher or a dean of discipline with a cane. We don't. We're adults. That's not necessary. And there are people out here who are not responsible adults who may definitely need a dean of discipline. Because despite the fact that they're grown, they come out here and they make the same kind of attacks and mistakes all the time. So when those kind of responses go towards people like this, I can understand because they are persistently doing these things. But when I see it going towards people who are supposed to essentially be her team players, it really made me question, what am I missing? What is it that I didn't understand? This person is supposed to be on this lady's team? Why are we going for the jugular with that person? Oh God, cutie pie. Hush. Don't talk about those big C put up, because each time you talk about it, tears come to my eyes. No man, it's all right. I'm good. Right? Nothing is wrong with Auntie Donna forgiving and accepting an apology. This doesn't mean they're friends, but she'll let him back in her circle. Exactly. Right? Um, I find 360 needs to leave YMK alone. He made a mistake, but Auntie Donna love each other and 360 can't do anything about it. I certainly hope these people chase after God and seek forgiveness. Why is it imperative that Atidana forgives them? She doesn't have to speak to her like anyone. True, Hortense. Very, very true. Very, very true. Right? Oops, my manners. Good afternoon. Okay, pick up yourself. Real talk. Yes, I see you. Right? Um, need for done with all of them. Okay, I understand that. And I understand that really and truly would like to see her just step away from everybody and just not have nothing to do with nobody and just be herself and not talk to a soul. But on social media, having camaraderie is not necessarily a bad thing. Having alliances also not a bad thing. It's very positive for your brand to interact with other content creators and other social media platform holders. But obviously there needs to be lines drawn. And sometimes these things do create friendships. As you can see, a lot of the people that she now claims are her good friends, she met on social media, right? So it's not all bad out there. And I'm not certain why it is that we need to necessarily fight and protect her in the way that we do. Um, I think that it can be done without necessarily being as aggressive or antagonistic, unless it is called for. Because me not go on like say me no goody two shoes and re. Because you see, if you come against somebody who is doing good and you do it in a way that is quite nasty and then you get it back, to me it's deserved. Right. So I'm not a no vengeance person. Don't think that. Because as I said, I ain't no Christian. I'm not no turn the other cheeks person. I'm saying that if you do something in a certain way, then and you get it back in that way, then it's deserved. But what I have seen is a huge difference in proportionality, right? Who did I tell me about the rules of proportionality when it comes to war? I think it was Wayne, right? Like essentially, if somebody is basically, you know, firing after you with some little pie, and then come and drop a whole atomic bomb, you're considered to be inhumane. Even though there's loss of life in both instances, you are the one who's considered to be inhumane because the proportionality is not it's not matching up, right? So, really and truly, it's about how we react to certain things and doing it in a way that is going to cause lasting scars and damage, is going to build up resentment in people towards even the lady. Because imagine if I am your friend, and just because I am your friend, I am and I am upset about something to do with our friendship and I go and voice it. Then I'm getting these vicious attacks against my name and my character. Something is going to start to happen in that brain where you're starting to associate negativity with that friendship. Why would you put that kind of pressure on somebody or that kind of energy towards somebody who is supposed to be regarded highly by the lady? You're basically setting up that friendship to break. That is how it look. I'm not telling a lie. That's how it look. You understand? I see right through the who need you that man. Him want the full plank of them support him, some him not attack the lady, but an attack on her surroundings is just the same. Yeah. And guys, why am I hearing that people are calling Planketarians Planka SHIT? What's happening there? Who did that? I think I read a comment or something somewhere that that why are people why are we doing this? Why? And I heard that it was said by people who are supposed to be also benefiting from the support of Planketarians. I'm trying to understand it because that one did miss me and somebody made a comment. And I was like, what? Who's doing that? And why do we feel the need? Why do we feel the need? I'm a bit confused. Because if Planketarians are on your platform and they're supporting and celebrating you, why would you be referring to any section of that group in a derogatory way? That's not okay, because at the end of the day, it doesn't take much then for you to switch on even those ones that are supporting you and start calling them the same if they act out or they do something that you don't appreciate. There are hypocrites and false people on every platform, including your own regular people. So why are you referring to a group of people who are attached to the lady as her main support, where she gets most of her donations from, and then you are calling a section of that group such a derogatory name? That where did that fall? I bet you said the fake plankers, because me can understand that. Because there are fake people everywhere, right? And we could attach fake to even, oh, there were a few fake royals, a few fake plankers, a few fake 360s. Yes, we could do that because there are fake people everywhere, right? There are the genuine and there are the fake, a human nature. But to then call them, you know, bodily fluid, why? Why? You can't, this is what me I try to say. We can make a point without having to go certain places, go to certain levels. We can make a point, you know? Well, yes, Bayesian girl, me can understand back and belly rats, right? Because some people do behave like back and belly rats, and that's okay. That's not too bad. But when you start to do that, that's really gone below the belt, right? And do you think that, as I said, a lot of the support is coming from the wider population of them. And yes, you may not agree with the behavior of some, but there's no reason to do that because it doesn't take much then for them to be the rest of them to be classed in that way. And people, we mustn't go where we're not appreciated or wanted. So, I don't know what behaviors are causing for those criticisms, but hello, whatever behaviors these are, then perhaps reflect and not do them. But I don't think any human being deserves to be called that. That's my opinion. Nobody can beat my feet. Right? Listen to live first. She was referring to the ones going around making trouble on platforms. Yes, and I'm saying, yes, I can understand that. Them do need to be told off and whatever for going around the place and making trouble. But I'm saying that a few people have walked away feeling very offended, even though they are not ones that are causing problems. And I'm saying we have to be careful about how we use certain words because, especially given the fact that I have heard that particular phrase coming straight out of the enemy camp towards the people, them and then you use the same coined term to describe that small penny section. It's come on now. I wouldn't do that. I don't know who do it neither. Somebody's attack. I would do it. And I know they know the real plankers, but they always speak ill in general about plankers creating drama. Well, everybody create drama. It's not just plankers that create drama. Everybody do. Right. Okay. So yeah, that is, me know so them do that, right? I know that they do that, right? But I'm saying that I heard that the comment was made by people who get support from plankers, and I don't think that lady was getting much support from them. So I don't think it's she. Let me see. Stay out on the yard. What do you like about Maxine? The way she disrespects Auntie Donna is this way. I don't agree with how she disrespects Auntie Donna. I don't. But genuinely about Maxine, I like her sense of humor. She's very funny. That's my opinion. Um, and I have a few family members who are diabetics and stuff, so it's like I I I recognize some of the things that she's going through and stuff with her health. So there's the first to say it. Okay, I see. Well, yes, so people shouldn't take on those names. Don't take on those that you remember I said it the last time, what is in a name? There's a lot in the name, and it's the source of the name that is even the most thing that you should consider, right? Yes. So that's why, I wondered why would you take that on? I don't like that. I think that's not very nice. But hello, as I said, we can't stop them from we can't start them from say what they want upon them platform, but I can certainly influence my graduates and say, listen, don't support that. You understand? Because I believe that people must be treated with respect. And even if you don't agree with their comments and what they're saying, I would not, if I don't agree with your comments and what you're saying, I'm not going to go under the belt and start telling you, comparing you to such things, right? That is all I'm saying. Um, Run you off here. Nobody can run me off anything. No, I was off the internet for a month because I was in Jamaica handling business. Nobody can run me off anywhere, right? None of these people are my parents. So no. I took a break and I did make it clear in my live before going off on my break that I was going to be taking a break. You understand? You have to watch the life for yourself. She was being Provoked. Okay, well, I don't know which live, so that's the first thing. I would never give my views to anyone who degrades Donna and her supporters because I'm not letting them get paid for such rhetoric. Yeah, and this is what will happen because you limit your audience and narrow your support unnecessarily. And and we all know that a lot of these people who are out here making these comments, they do want the support. They do. You hear them asking for payments to Zelle, this Cash App, whatever, whatever. So they enjoy being compensated for their entertainments. And Planketarians are very kind audience. I think that's why a lot of people try to compete for Planketarians to be on their platform. I was one of those who was contributed. So you understand. So I understand. So at the end of the day, to then hear that being used, especially given where it's coming from, I think we can do a little bit better. That is all I am saying. People don't have to take it on board. They don't even have to give one toss about what I got to say, because who am I on the scheme of things? Yeah, I'm down here, them up there, some love. So I am only communicating with my graduates, my personal opinion, and not a soul can stop me from have that opinion. Sometimes I really the lady they want cuss, but them take it out on Blanca, and that is a very interesting psychology. It could be so. I don't know, but it could be so. Everything they blame it on the plankers. Yes, and this is a thing as well. Social media is such that people can create false identities so easily, so readily, that it will be next to impossible to know who is behind every single profile that's out there making certain comments and doing certain things. And people can duplicate names, all sorts. And then by the time you look, you're thinking that you're attacking this person when it's actually one of the people from the opposite side of the internet causing problems, and creating chaos deliberately. There's nothing that pleases the people who cannot stand DMG more than seeing members within her team go at each other. They love it. It pleases them to the core. So whenever any of you feed into that agenda, just know that you're on the wrong side. It's really simple. You're on the wrong side. And some people are not on any side. So them are gonna this anybody that want for this and cuss who they want because that's okay too, right? But then whatever you reap is whatever you sow. And people who are pro a particular approach should definitely hold on to their pockets, not shell out. That's all I got to say. Come out every day. I like you a lot. You're different from the rest. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I won't come out every day though. I don't believe in being common. I don't. I like to be rare. Yes. It makes it a bit more worthwhile. I am very common on my Facebook though. So if you follow me on Facebook, you see me commenting and posting a lot. YouTube, I just come up whenever I feel like it or if I have a topic I want to discuss. If something has hit my attention, then I will come out and I will chit chat with you guys. Yeah, don't go where you're disrespected. And that's the fact, right? Thing is, anyone can go on someone's platform, say that they're a planker. How do you know it's true? But then they attack Donna and her supporters. Plankers watch but stop supporting by subscribing and commenting. Yeah, that's a way of dealing with it. When they want views, they use catchy taglines and thumbnails cursing plankers because it's using reverse psychology to get the views. Yes, I know. I've seen that method. It seems to work for some people. It doesn't work for all, but I have seen that method being used, and different people have got different strategies and techniques. I'm not gonna really watch that. You understand? I can only communicate with my graduates who are mostly also plankers, and say, go where you're held in high esteem. Go where you're held in high esteem. It doesn't mean that if you see behaviors that are negative amongst blanketarians that you also cannot call it out, because there's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't have to be so disrespectful that you are using such terminologies to debase each other. You understand? Not forget like that. It not forget so, right? There are such troublemakers out here. We know that. Social media is like this. You understand? It's like this. And as I said, sometimes you have to rise up against them and you have to give them a dose of their own medicine. And that's true. But are you going to make that your entire existence on social media? You just every day get up on a war. You can't come out and do something substantial. I shared a post that where Ashanti 360 had contributed to Miss Princess's something, our charity, when she did the back to school something. I thought that was brilliant. Reminiscent of the old Ashanti that I used to respect. Yes. You understand? So that was worth sharing. Yes. But would I share any of the other stuff? Absolutely not. No. You understand? Listen to my cat. My cat's trying to get out of the room. He's stuck. Anyway, guys, I'm not come for chat for too long. You don't know, so I'm just come and say what I have to say and go about my business. Right? So many of you on the live, please to make sure on a like up the live as you exit class. Thank you very much for coming to a touch of class with HTK. Yes, we talk about all the trending topics and whether or not you call it bagga bagga, that's your business. But the way we do it with a touch of class, and that's the difference. Oh yes. Okay, so big up on yourself and like up the live. I couldn't care less, cute pie, because I'm not answering and I'm not looking and I don't care. I said what I said and I stand by what I said. All right, bye bye.